Okay, kids, so today you are going to be working on something called one-point perspective. Now, you may have had a little bit of this in sixth grade, but we're going to take it a little bit further in seventh grade. So, if you look at this image right here, okay, this is a great example of one-point perspective. Perspective is the way our eyes see things in the world. And if you look at this, you'll notice that it looks like everything seems to go to one place right in the middle of the picture. Okay, all the sidewalk lines, all the roofs, okay, all the tops and bottoms of the windows, even the top of the fence. All right, all of it seems to go to this one spot. And that spot is called the vanishing point. And we in the art world we call that the VP. Okay? And if I scroll through here and look at some of these other pictures, okay, you'll see the same situation in all of them. And in art, a lot of times kids will make a road that disappears into the distance and stops at a certain spot, which is the vanishing point. And then if you look at this, you'll also see that there's kind of this imaginary line going across the picture. Okay? That is called the horizon line. All right? That is perfectly straight ahead of us at all times. And it's this imaginary line where the vanishing point sits. Okay? And you can see in these pictures, usually we think of the horizon as where the sun disappears or comes up. Okay, and you can see that that line going across the middle of this piece of artwork, okay, is right there. That's the horizon line. It's where the sky meets the ground, basically. Same thing here. Okay, and notice how the trees seem to get smaller and smaller, and they seem to get a little bit closer together too. That's something called foreshortening. Now, and you can see as you get older, the drawing part of it becomes more precise. All these lines are perfectly straight. You can see that the edges of the road go to the vanishing point. The tops and bottoms of the windows go to the vanishing point. The tops and bottoms of the doors on the sides of the buildings go to the vanishing point. So the vanishing point is super important in this type of drawing. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a few different images using one-point perspective. You can see that here the artist has drawn a rectangle. They've established where the vanishing point is, VP. Okay, there's a little arrow. And then they've connected the three corners of that rectangle that are closest to the vanishing point using straight lines. And those lines all go to that VP. Then they look at the left edge of the rectangle, the side, and they need to make it stop somewhere. So they make a parallel line along the side of these two lines that they created. Okay, so it's right there. Then they have to make a parallel horizontal line to finish off the top of the box. Notice that they meet each other. And then you erase what you don't need. So you're going to need a pencil, you're going to need an eraser or a pencil with an eraser and a ruler. And we're going to start with the same exact thing I just showed you on the first page. So the three corners that are closest to that vanishing point that we can connect without drawing through the shape are these three. And when we do our lines to that vanishing point, those are called guidelines. And we draw them lightly because you're going to be erasing part of them. Super light, just enough that you can see it. So those three corners get connected to the dot, like that. So you can go ahead and pause the video and do that. All right, so now we have to finish the side of our box. Right now, we've created the box, but it goes on forever and ever and ever until it vanishes at the vanishing point. So we're going to take our ruler, we're going to line it up with this vertical line right here. Then we keep our ruler parallel with that line and slide it back. And we stop wherever we want. Okay, the further back you go, the longer the box will be. And we're going to connect the bottom guideline to the middle guideline, like this. Notice that these two are exactly parallel. They go the exact same way. It's not crooked like that. We don't want that. Okay, it's got to be perfectly the same. Then we take our ruler and we're going to line it up with the top of our rectangle. Here. We're going to slide our ruler, keeping it straight, until we find the end of the line we just did. So I'm trying to keep this even. I'm using this and this as a guide. Sliding, sliding, sliding. And there is the end of the line. Right there. You can see it. Connect that to the other guideline. And voila, you have the top of your box here and the side of your box there. And then you erase the part that you no longer need. This is why we draw lightly. And you have your 1-point perspective box. For the next exercise, which is right here, of course, you can pause me to finish all this. For our next exercise, again, we are connecting the sides of the shapes or the corners of the shapes that are closest to the dot without drawing through the shape. So I can do this one. I can do this one. But look, I can't do that one because I would be drawing through the shape. And I can't do that one either because I'd be drawing through the shape. No bueno. All right. So this one's a little bit easier. We only have the side to deal with. So I take my ruler, line it up with that vertical line right there. Slide it over as far as I want. Connect the two guidelines together. And this one is finished. Just like that. So you can pause it up and do that one. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the rest of them without talking as much, so you can watch and do. Notice that those two are parallel. They're going the exact same way. They're not straight up and down anymore, but that's okay. They're still parallel. That is the end of the first page that you have to do. I'm going to stop this video here because it is a long video and it's taking up a lot of my memory. Once you have finished this, you're going to open video number 2 to do the rest of the pages. And of course, I will do them with you and show you how.